If you want to win some free PSN or Xbox gift cards, all you gotta do is be subscribed to my channel, drop a like on this video, leave a comment down below, and don't forget to turn on notifications. Also, if you guys want to get your hands on some cheap Master Prestige accounts for any Call of Duty games, check out DigiZani. The link will be down in the description, and make sure to use code GOBLIN. Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin, and welcome back to another Call of Duty Black Ops 3 video. Today's video is going to be another episode of my How to Get Better at Black Ops 3 series, how to become a god at Black Ops 3, and basically what the series is, I'm pretty sure most of you guys know by now, but for the new viewers, what it is I read your guys' comments and questions down below, I take them and I answer them in the video, and usually the questions have something to do with how to get better at Black Ops 3. The gameplay scene here, I think this is Vesper. I'm not sure at which point this was the Vesper, but it looks like this was like when the Vesper was in its prime, because the thing has absolutely no recoil, so kind of a throwback gameplay. This was absolutely insane. This Vesper just absolutely destroys people, and that's why they would nerf it on and off, on and off. Hopefully you guys will enjoy this video. If you guys can, drop a like. I would appreciate if we could go for 2,000 likes. That would be absolutely amazing if we could hit that. Also, of course, you guys can subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. And also, I want to do something where if my subscribers have like accounts with supply drops, or you want me to open supply drops for you, and you have a bunch of COD points or a bunch of crypto keys on your account, because on mine, I have pretty much all the DLC weapons, and even like I'm not gonna, even though I'm missing 4 or 5 other DLC weapons, I'm not going to open COD points on mine. I'd rather open COD points if you have them already on your account. So go ahead and tweet me if you have accounts with, like, you know, 5,000, 10,000 COD points or a few thousand crypto keys, and I could go on your account, open some supply drops, make a reaction video out of it, and it would be something pretty cool if you want to watch me open your supply drops and unlock some DLC weapons for you. Just an idea if you guys want to do that. Of course, you can tweet me. My Twitter is down in the description, and you know, people that have the most crypto keys and COD points, I'll probably do it for. So let's get right into this. Today I have some interesting questions. I have been getting a lot of the same questions, so hopefully you guys can leave me some questions that are more unique down in the comment section down below on this video. But for the first question, let's get into it. So it comes from Benjamin. He says, "Hey Goblin, great vids. How do I know when to stop preemptively aiming around corners? Most of the time, as soon as I stop aiming, that's when people get there." Now, this is something that it's kind of a funny thing. It's called Call of Duty timing, really. A lot of people joke about and talk about it. It's when you're aiming down at a spot, and the second you decide to turn around or stop aiming, that's when the enemy comes. This is something that there's not too much you can do about it, but there are sometimes, you know, you just get screwed over and you just get unlucky COD timing, but there are some things you can do about it and some ways to prevent this. Now, the main thing is you need to know what, if you're pre-aiming at a doorway, you shouldn't just be pre-aiming because you're just doing it for fun. There should always be a reason behind it. If you see me pre-aiming a doorway, it's because I saw a guy at the back area, or it's because I know they're about to spawn there, or I have some predetermined knowledge of when to do it. Now, sometimes you're going to be wrong on that. You're going to aim down there and the enemy doesn't show up, and that's when you should stop doing it. So you shouldn't just be hard scoping an area for no reason. You should hard scope an area maybe for 2 to 3 seconds, and if they're not coming that way, go check another area. Go check the left side. Go check the right side. But if you have predetermined knowledge that an enemy is going to be coming there, that's when you should be literally aiming down there for, who knows, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, however long it takes. But if they don't show up in usually that amount of time, I mean, you can know if an enemy spawns at the back of Stronghold and you're aiming at the doorway, if they don't show up within 5 or 6 seconds, they definitely went another way, because you can just calculate in your head how long it would take for a person to sprint there, and everyone sprints. Nobody walks in Call of Duty. Everyone constantly sprints around the map, especially in a game that has unlimited sprint and jumping and all that sort of stuff. So hopefully that gives you some help with that. Something that you can't really prevent all the time, but hopefully that tip helps you out a little bit. Next question comes, "Hey Goblin, my question is, how should I move around in this game? Like, where should I be running, and when should I slide or thrust jump?" Now, this is a good question. One thing that I would criticize myself about in this game is, because I've been playing Call of Duty for years and years, I'm not as used to the advanced movement as players who, you know, teenagers who just started playing for Advanced Warfare. And these ones, you see those people's gameplays, they're flying around the map constantly. How I use the movement is I use it as a tactic to win gunfights, and then I usually just run around or use whatever's comfortable for me as movement around the map. It really doesn't matter if you're, usually I'll slide, and I'll YY as I slide, or triangle, I think it is on PS4, because that allows you to do a longer slide. That's usually why I do it. I'm not sure if that was patched, but it's just a habit for me at this point. At some point in Black Ops 3, and I think it still does, allow you to slide a little bit further, and it's just something that, you know, I've always been doing. But how I would recommend this is you want to use your thrust jumps and wall runs as more of a tactic to win gunfights and to fight with people. Of course, because if you're up on a wall or you're using your jumps, those things have, well, the jump bar has a timer on it, and of course it gets to reset, so you don't want to be jumping all around, and then when you see an enemy, you have no boost, and you're kind of screwed. You're stationary in the gunfight and lose that. So as far as moving around the map, do what's comfortable and what works the best for you. Of course, on different maps, there's different things you can do. On a map like Nuketown, there's not many wall runs. There's one big wall run on the side and on the side of the buildings. That's pretty much the only time you'll be doing it. This is more of a on the ground map, and thrust jumps are used to win gunfights. But however, on other certain maps, like maybe Combine or Redwood, or yeah, those are two that I can think of off the top of my head. Breach is actually one where wall runs are your traditional movement. So I think this just depends more on how the map plays out. But I would use your thrust jumps and your wall runs as ways to win gunfights, because definitely if you're on the wall, they're on the ground, you probably have the advantage, at least off the start, because you're going to see them first and you're going to have your aimer on them first. However, aiming wall running can be hard, so that's sort of the counter to that. So that's why you know, it's kind of a questionable thing. But moving around the map, just do what's comfortable. Don't worry if you're moving around on the ground a lot, as long as you are using your jumps effectively when you see enemies. Next question is, I'm always getting killed from behind. How do I learn to play off the spawns and know when to turn around? So I talk about this all the time. You have to know the spawns. You have to use your teammates, where your teammates are at, to know where the spawns are at. And this made me think a little bit, because this is a very good question. I like when I get in-depth question like this. Like, this is a very specific question. When do you know when to turn around? This is something that has haunted me on Nuketown so many times. I'm one off, and then they all start spawning behind me, and I'm absolutely screwed. So the way that you can tell for sure that the spawn's flipped is if you're paying really good attention to the minimap and you see the second one of your teammates spawns where you think they were spawning at, that means instantly the spawn flip happened, guaranteed 100% turn around. They're going to be spawning behind you. But sometimes none of your teammates will be dying, right? And then they will be spawning, and those times it's just got to go off instincts. You just got to go off the positions of your teammates on the map and just off instincts, because it's a 50-50 shot. If your teammates die first and your team is the one to flip the spawns, you're going to know about it if you are paying attention. Of course, you still really have to pay good attention, but if they do, it's just all up to instincts. Okay, they haven't been spawning. They've been spawning here. Our teammates are pushing up. Once you usually get 2 people in the enemy spawn, it signals that there's going to be a spawn flip as well. So there's a few little hints you can use to pick up on that, but it is kind of tough, and it does come down to instincts. Next question is how to play without a suppression. Now, this is a good question, because I always get a lot of comments of people saying, I can't play without a suppressor. I can't play without afterburner. And I kind of feel you on that one, because I'm someone that personally, I can't really play without stock on assault rifles, because I just find that I'm more of an SMG player in previous CODs, and a stock on assault rifles makes it more mobile, makes you be able to play sort of like it is an SMG. How to play without a suppressor is you simply have to be self-aware, and that's the thing with all of these things. If you have a suppressor on, and I very rarely use a suppressor in this game, I've said before, if you have a suppressor on, you can play to the advantage of that. You can play knowing I can shoot here, I don't have to move, because they know that they don't know that I'm here, of course, unless they see you. But when you don't have a suppressor, you need to know. So if I'm shooting at people and I'm missing my shots out of the garage, I'm not going to just stand in the garage and wait there, because they obviously know I'm there. I'm going to go and I'm going to move to somewhere else on the map. I'm going to kill 1 or 2 guys here, rotate down to the other side. You have to definitely be moved. Suppressor is something cool, because you can sit there and you can kill people, and then another person might run up and you can kill them. But when you don't have a suppressor, you need to be killing and then moving, killing and then moving back and forth. You don't have to be moving to new places every time, but usually back and forth, getting into a little cycle there. That's the easiest way to play without a suppressor. Next question is a pretty long one, but basically this guy says he's an experienced player and he has trouble on getting nukes. He's got 5 brutals, but he can't get that nuke. This is a good question, because every single year, I mean, I've obviously got a bunch of nukes, a bunch of Moabs, a bunch of nuclear, stuff like that, but every single year on the new Call of Duty game, I usually get nervous when it comes down to my first one on the new Call of Duty game, and so that's where I can sort of understand this. Usually it just comes down to nerves, and that's probably why you are choking these streets. Either you're being impatient, you're getting too nervous, and what I can recommend for this is don't pay too much attention to it. Don't be counting every single kill. Notice, okay, I'm on a brutal, take it very slow and finish those off. Don't be in a rush to get that nuclear, unless of course you have to be in a rush because the game's gonna end. Take it a bit slower, finish your streaks, be aware of the streak that you're on, but don't be counting. Okay, 3 more, two more, 4 more, because then you're literally going to be shaking IRL, and you're definitely going to be missing shots, and you're going to choke simply because of nervousness. So it comes down to a balance there, and a lot of things in this game are about balance. So some pretty unique questions to answer today. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. If you guys made it to the end of the video, please drop a like on this thing. 2,000 likes would be absolutely amazing. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and leave me some really unique questions. I liked answering those for next episode of this is How to Get Better series. Thanks for watching. Sub for Cookie and Don't Licky, and I'm out. Peace.